everybody, welcome back to another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News, the show that may or may not be 5 minutes. Today in the news, potentially disappointing information from a leaker about two big upcoming games. Over on Game Rant, they've got an article about a leaker going by the name Horns on Reset Era, who leaked the release of Hi-Fi Rush prior to its announcement, and now they've got updates on Starfield and Redfall. Those updates are, if you watch this show frequently, pretty much what I assumed we'd find out based on the info and the trailers and the gameplay we've gotten so far. And this is where I jump in and just remind you that leaker stuff may or may not be true, and I may have confirmation bias on the fact that it kind of feels like what I think it would be, so I'm more inclined to believe it. Putting that out there right up front. The leaker stated that both games are in rough shape and should use more quality control before they hit the shelves. While Redfall is in better shape than Starfield, the two games are not yet ready to be published, even though Microsoft announced they would be coming out before June 2023. The leaker explained that the decision to rush the release of these games, even if they're not ready yet, was made because Microsoft lost a lot of money on Azure, its cloud computing platform. The company asked all divisions to blunt this loss, and that includes Xbox and its upcoming games. Now, if you remember, Starfield and Redfall were supposed to be 2022 releases and have already been pushed back to this year. And still, a lot of the stuff we're seeing is kind of vague, and the footage is still looking a little beta-y. So like I said, it's a leak, and we should take it with a grain of salt, but I'd be lying if I said this one didn't ring as a bit more valid. Especially considering that while talking to IGN, Phil Spencer admitted that without Redfall and Starfield in their release schedule last year, Xbox really didn't put out all that many games. We only got 5 games in 12 months from Xbox Studios. None of those were like huge mega blockbusters. Our commitment to our fans is that we need to have a steady release of great games that people can play on our platform, and we didn't do enough of that in 2022. There's no doubt, Spencer told IGN, and fundamentally, that's on me. I'm the head of the business. We're excited about getting to roll into 2023, having the developer direct. I felt really good about the games that we were showing, and also knowing that Starfield is a game that we're going to highlight in its own show, and then just start off 2023 with good momentum. Now again, if you take all that by itself, it's like, oh, good on them. They're going to step it up this year. The direct was fun, but when you take into account the leakers' information, all of that seems less like they're gonna step it up and more like they're gonna push 2 unfinished games out on us to make up for not being out in 2022 and then patch them afterwards until they're finished. And then overall, based on what Spencer said and what the leaker is hinting at, Xbox just in general is struggling to find that big hit, that game that just is gonna bring everyone back to Xbox. And my question is, why are we not talking about Halo anymore? I remember the launch of Halo 2, Halo 3. That was huge. That was amazing. It was epic. Everyone loved Halo. We were super into it. And then they just squandered that game. I haven't touched a Halo game in I don't even know how long. I know most people, even people who were really big Halo fans, back when I first started, in like 2011, 2012, there were people whose entire channels were Halo related. And they're just gone now. And it seems insane to me that they're just trying to find all these things to like get people to come to Xbox and buy an Xbox and play. Why are they not making the next great Halo game? Why is it 343 shopping that out to other studios to create who the hell knows what? It seems so silly to me that they have a giant IP and they don't do anything with it except make terrible TV shows. I mean, thank God for Game Pass, or I wouldn't use my Xbox at all. Anyway, it's Monday, so that means it's time for releases. Tomorrow, the Middle Ages come alive. Well, at least part of it. Inkulinati, the strategy game 700 years in the making, finally comes out, featuring the wonderful and bizarre medieval manuscript art of the past, but spun into a wacky tactical video game. Each drawn army, which, by the way, the art in this game is so cool, but each drawn army has different strengths and weaknesses, and who knows, you may even get to make your own little doodle army man along the way. On the second journey from Earth to the surface of Mars, like all your favorite rovers, in Deliver Us Mars. The suspenseful, narrative-driven Journey to the Red Planet and sequel to Deliver Us the Moon explores the Red Planet in an attempt to recover the Ark colony ships, forcing you to experience a beautiful world and stunning music and pretty much all the things you know you're going to love in an exploration game. And while we're on the subject of beauty, watch out, because the same day, Fashion Police Squad hits all consoles. Fashion crimes run rampant on the mean streets, and it's up to you to put a stop to it in this retro FPS game definitely played for laughs. Now, those may look like guns, but honey, they are just adding a splash of color. Use your sewing machine gun to stitch them up, fashion. Speaking of fashion, if you weren't aware, over on store.jessecox.com, we have SGS Letterman jackets. They are selling out fast. Get them while you can. They're almost gone. That is it for me. Thank you so much, and I'll see y'all tomorrow for another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News.